Let's talk about both buying or deciding to build an AK-47, and this Yugo underfolder should be an excellent example for us for lots of reasons. Now on first glance this might look like an excellent value in an AK-47, looks kind of cool. Yugos have an excellent reputation for well-made parts and robust AK-47s. But let's take a little closer look quickly at this one. First off, most importantly, we see that the bayonet has a broken scabbard. However, it is the correct bayonet for the gun. We have the front sight post there, the gas block with the grenade sight and gas cutoff, original hand guards. It's got the cleaning rod, original parts. This one's built on a US receiver. Has the wrong dust cover, the underfolder stock, US trigger, US receiver, US pistol grip, and even the muzzle brake is a Tapco US muzzle brake. So now let's talk about some of the details on this rifle. At first look, this might look like an excellent buy. Again, very good reputation, strong AKs. But let's take a little closer look at the parts used on this one and then its construction. First off, we know that it's built in the US. There's no import marks or manufacturer marks. It has a US receiver, and all the parts look like the ones that would come from a parts kit. It has a Chinese magazine, but with US follower and floor plate. Got the US trigger and just a US pistol grip. The actual pistol grip on a Yugo would look like this. And there are some US made versions that mimic the Yugo pistol grip. The dust cover is incorrect. On a Yugo, there's the option to attach a grenade launching muzzle device and shoot grenades with blanks, and the sight there shows us that that's just built into the rifle. However, on the dust cover there should be a lock so that the recoil of the grenade doesn't knock the dust cover off, and while the receiver has the holes for that button, the button's not installed and the dust cover doesn't have the appropriate notches. This is what a real Yugo dust cover looks like, and you can see that there's notches there to facilitate that lock. When you look at the thickness of the steel, you can see that the real Yugo behind is actually quite a bit thicker than this AKM cover. But this dust cover does fit just fine. So this one doesn't have any import marks, but it does have some arsenal numbers. When you look at that number, it's usually stamped at various places on the AK. The numbers don't match, however, even on the bolt carrier, bolt, and trunnion, which means head spacing can be an issue. We have test fired this one and it does shoot, so it looks as though the builder was either lucky enough or new enough to get the head spacing correct. Head spacing has to do with the relationship between the chamber, the barrel, and the bolt, so that you don't have a problem with gases escaping or not closing completely. When we look at the underfolding stock on this one, it was not put together correctly, so when you push the button nothing happens. You basically need to use another tool to help get the button to move before the stock will open. So while the parts may all be there, they're probably not installed correctly, and that'll need to be addressed. Let's take a look at some of the construction methods. It is built on the US receiver, but let's take a look at these rivets. First we'll just look at them from the side. Then let's flip it over. Not real good. Looking at them from this angle will be even more dramatic. you can see how this rivet just doesn't match up with the receiver very well at all. But now let's flip it over and take a look at these from the side. You could literally put the blade of the bayonet underneath it. This one is okay, but this one, something happened and they almost ground it off. And now let's take a look at this rear one. The next error in construction is a little funny. If you notice, this is the safety mechanism on the AK. When it's up, it covers the gap in the dust cover, and when it comes down, it's in the fire position. Now there's normally a little stop here, which we can see was accidentally installed backwards on the wrong side of the receiver. But the job of that little tab is to stop the safety from just coming and hanging loose. So kind of funny, but if you're not aware of that, that could actually be a little dangerous. Luckily on a Yugo, the safety isn't just going to fall free and fall out. In addition, this one does have some rust spots here and on the charging handle. While these aren't very difficult to remove, it is something that needs to be addressed before too long. So these are just some of the areas to look at when purchasing an AK-47, and things to be aware of, that just because you might have the tools to do some of the tasks doesn't mean you're going to have the experience necessary on your first build or even your second or third build to get a high quality AK built at home. So I don't want to scare anyone away from building. There are definitely people that build great looking AKs. This one we've test fired and it does seem to shoot okay. However, on close inspection you can see there are some small issues with this one. While this is by no means an absolute guide to purchasing an AK-47, hopefully you've learned a few things to look for when you're shopping. As always, thanks for watching.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.